Welcome to Life Happens, where Texans come to protect their legacy and prepare for the second half of life. Join your host, Attorney Kim Hegwood with Hegwood Law Group, and our weekly guest as we navigate the challenges that emerge as life happens. Now here's your host, Kim Hegwood.
Good morning and welcome to Life Happens with me, Kim Hegwood, and my very special guest, Benjamin. You're going to love Benjamin. And so we're going to do this fun series because he's, just when it comes to technology, Benjamin rocks. So thank you for coming on.
You bet, Kim. Thanks for having
And
me.
I hope that you have as much fun as what I've had doing, spending some time with you and learning all these new things. But today we're going to talk about helping seniors create a better body. Since you seem to be the go-to guy, what new tech innovations can help seniors now with mobility issues?
Yeah, great, really important topic. When I say better body, what I mean by that is in our Age Tech Toolbox that we now have available to us as care coordinators for our parents or for clients, there are now tools that help us live more independently. They help us be able to do more with our body, even if we have some disabilities. And so you're specifically asking about mobility. Maybe I can't, I just can't walk anymore, or it's too hard to walk very much. Obviously, we have had wheelchairs for a long time, right? And we've had electric wheelchairs as well. However, if you're familiar with electric wheelchairs, many of them are very bulky, extremely heavy. You might need a crane to get it into the back of your truck, right? And so it becomes less likely that someone would use an electric wheelchair, which may be the most appropriate thing, right? A wheelchair where you're self-propelling, maybe you're a little older and it's hard to propel for long distances. Maybe you need someone to push you all the time, and maybe it's not possible to find someone in your life who can push you to the library, push you to the store, etc. And so you end up more isolated and more dependent on others because you're not using one of these giant electronic wheelchairs. However, these electronic wheelchairs often are also so big that they destroy your house, right? I mean, they destroy your doors, they destroy your hallways. Some places say they're not allowed to if you're renting an apartment here, you can't have one. There's a lot of issues going to a restaurant. How do you pull up at a table in some of these electric wheelchairs? It can be very difficult. How do you get in and out of the car, etc.? So some of the companies that are trying to give us the power of some motor-powered mobility, but make it discreet, make it sleek, make it less heavy, make it easier to get in and out of a car, make it easier to get in and out of a house. Movinglife.com, will.com, WHILL.inc, will.inc, and Nino-robotics.com. Those are three companies that have designed electronic wheelchairs that are much easier to get in and out of a car. One of them even it folds up to a carry-on size that you could take onto an airplane, put it in the carry-on, and then take it off. I mean, we're talking some very sophisticated technology to make it easier to get around when you can't self-propel for long distances. I mean, it's one thing if you're an athlete and you can get one of those cool wheelchairs with big wheels and you can just propel yourself. But a lot of our clients, Kim, can't do that. No. And so they need options.
And so with mobility comes the things that, we preach and I preach and not necessarily so good at, is how important it is to strengthen the body as we age and all the good things that go along with that. So what do you have in your little toolbox that helps people, can do those strength exercises and things like that to help them as they age?
Well, some of them are tools that strengthen the body without exercise. Because some issues, exercise by itself is just not going to be enough. So for instance, someone has back pain and it really limits their lifestyle. MySeismic.com, they've created a packet of, it's like a back, it's not a brace. and it's not just padding. It's like underwear. It's like an underwear that is like electronically powered underwear that you put on your back and your front, and it's very discreet, and you put your clothes over it, and it has about 6 to 8 hour charge. And the idea is that this device uses the power of electricity and the power of the different motors within it to give you the strength to stand upright, give you the strength to do things you want to do, and limit the back pain and enhance your mobility when you're dealing with back pain. So that's an example of a device that the purpose of it is actually strengthen you more than you might be without it. Not necessarily, maybe even empowering you to exercise, maybe empowering you to get out and take a walk when you would normally just be on your back in your chair going, I just can't get outside. You put that on, and it gives you enough energy, enough strengthening, enough support that you can go take that walk. You can go get out in nature, be inspired by taking photo. Maybe you like to take pictures and you want to go on a little hike, and it's just not possible to do that the way life is right now. Another two are helpful for folks who have a lot of tremors and it's very hard to eat, right? That's an issue that can quickly cause someone to become very dependent. And you may need to pay the highest rates in an assisted living or a memory care because someone is now having to feed you every one of your meals, right? Well, what if by using the right technology, you don't even need someone to feed you, right? So Liftware, they create forks and spoons that stay level no matter what your hand is doing. The lip of the spoon, the fork will just stay right where it needs to be, even if you're moving your hand a lot of different directions. Because that's one of the biggest issues is that, okay, I can put my fork in the food, but then it's dropping all over me. And so it's kind of useless. Well, with Liftware, the idea is you're able to continue eating, even if you're shaking a lot. Steadyware is similar. However, it's more than just eating. It's a glove that you put on your hand, and it takes a hand that's tremoring a lot and really steadies it with a glove. So now you can write, take a picture, use a computer, do various things that you need in order to live well. But you can do because this glove is helping you. Now, S3 Balance, this is an invention that it's fairly, it's really powerful. I mean, it seems such a no-brainer. It's crazy that it hasn't, that we haven't had something like this sooner. And here's the deal. Most seniors exercise in chairs. Most seniors do sittercise, Zumba in a chair. They do some sort of class in a chair. Whether they do it at home in front of a TV or they do it at the YMCA or their Zumba class or their assisted living, it's in a chair. And the reality is that does not have any impact on your balance. You have to be in a zone in which you are almost going to fall. I shouldn't say it quite like that, but you're in a wobbly space. You have to have your body in a position where your body feels the need to exercise its various systems of balance. That's impossible if you're in a chair, and it's not safe if you're standing behind a chair. The chair is not going to protect you if you fall during some sort of balance exercise. So Dr. Colin Hubler, who is a physical therapist for many years and owned many clinics in my area, Portland, Oregon, he saw how all this physical therapy just could not make enough difference among seniors because seniors would go to their therapy session and then go home and really not be able to practice their balance. And so he designed a device that is, it's hard to describe it verbally, but it's basically some big metal bars that can hold someone who's 800 to 1,000 pounds. And you are able to stand up no matter how difficult it is to stand, you can stand. And you're able to do balance exercises for about 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And the anecdotal research so far is showing 400% decreases in falls among populations that use this device just for 3 to 5 times a week, only 5 to 10 minutes a day. I mean, we're not talking significant time investment. So whether someone lives at home and wants one of these devices in their living room where they just get up and do 10 10-second intervals of balance exercises for 10 minutes. I mean, we're talking simple stuff like lift one hand above the bar and stand there. Lift two hands, close your eyes, lift one leg if possible. Like whatever you're at in your balance journey, those little exercises for 10, 20 seconds at a time, repeated every day throughout the weeks, and you just progressively get better and better. That's the kind of thing that can literally change someone's entire trajectory of their life, because we know that falls are one of the biggest reasons someone ends up in the hospital, into skilled nursing, experiences death because of a fall, because of what a hip fracture or some other injury will have. I mean, I'm sitting in a chair today, rocking chair with my feet up because I just broke my leg. I am experiencing what happens when you lose your balance, and how many I mean, just taking a shower becomes a significant challenge. Just getting outside, I can't drive anymore, right? I'm 42 and it's impacting my life in a big way. Imagine an older person who may not have a ton of resources, may not have a lot of people in their life. Balance is a big deal. Like, I have family, I have people who are willing to drive me around for 30 days while I recover. But if we're talking 2 years of recovery, like, either I have to have enough money to pay for all the services I need, or I'm going to be living a very different kind of life. So this kind of investment in fall prevention, 10 minutes a day, it's one of the most efficient, effective, cost-effective things someone can do.
I envision it looking more like a treadmill, or probably
Like a treadmill, but there's no treadmill on it. It's just bars around the treadmill, basically. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Is it very expensive?
I think it's like $1,000, $1,200 or something like that for one device, and super heavy duty. You can even use it to help you transfer. If you're someone who has trouble getting in and out of a chair, you can use it to help you with transferring. You can use it to help you with personal care. You can stand up during personal care, etc. There's a lot of uses for it. And companies like ours, we're implementing it in our communities so people don't actually have to buy it. They can just come to the class. So it depends on kind of your setting.
Perfect. So another thing that we find is that a lot of seniors don't hear well. And so, even people that say, "Oh, I've tried all these different hearing aids and nothing works," and so what kind of tools do you have for people who don't seem to get good help or relief from traditional hearing aids and things like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, it's really important to take care of hearing. The research that I've seen shows 2 to 3 times more likely to live with dementia if you have untreated hearing loss. So, I mean, we know from science, from research, that hearing loss equals dementia most of the time, right? It's gonna get there. Now, there's not as much research yet that shows which interventions might stop that from happening. So we don't know yet, if you do these things, if you have hearing loss, you do these things, can you stop the dementia? We don't know. And the researchers that I've read so far, nobody knows why hearing loss results in dementia. There's a couple theories. One theory is that somehow the hearing loss changes our brain, or that the same changes are the same changes that happen in dementia, that there's some sort of structural change in our brain. Another theory is that hearing loss is related to social isolation. Separate research shows that social isolation results in dementia. So it may just be that hearing loss results in people making choices that isolate themselves from other people, and then that has the dementia impact, right? So there's a couple other theories about why this might happen. We don't really know, but we know that it does. We know you have hearing loss, very good chance you're going to get dementia. So the best we can do right now is say, okay, let's treat this hearing loss. Let's try to deal with it proactively. Let's not just live with it as though, it's just an inconvenience, but live with it as though it is a potential death sentence, right? It is a potential death sentence. So let's do something about it. So obviously we want to encourage people to look for hearing aids, get hearing aids. Like, let's do that. The FDA just is coming up with new policies to create over-the-counter hearing aids, which is a totally new thing. So even someone who can't afford a traditional hearing aid may be able to go to Walgreens and get some sort of hearing device. The Pocket Talker, I think, is one device that can be really helpful for someone who doesn't tolerate hearing aids well. Basically, it's headphones with a little cord and then a little thing you put in your pocket, like a little transmitter. And so you're able to go to a meeting, go to a restaurant, go to church, synagogue, go to places that you would normally say, I can't go, I can't be part of it, I don't understand what people are saying. Put the headphones on, you can hear, you can listen to what's going on. My grandpa uses one of these because he just cannot tolerate hearing aids. He just takes them out. He's got some dementia, and it just bothers him to have those hearing aids in his ears. But he can put the headphones on and be able to listen to what's going on. A gentleman moved into one of our communities, memory care community, wasn't participating in anything. We got him one of these devices. He became one of the biggest advocates of our exercise program. He was there every day. It changed his life. EverSound is more for group experiences. So EverSound is a bank of wireless headphones with a wireless transmitter that you can connect your iPhone for music, your TV. You can connect microphones of all different sizes and shapes. And so if you're a care coordinator who cares for multiple people at a senior center, at a day program, at assisted living, memory care, adult family home, EverSound's a great tool to have as kind of an environmental support where anybody who walks into your setting can put one of these devices on and hear what is being said by the instructor, by the classroom teacher, by a nurse, by a doctor, by family who's coming to visit. It can really change people's lives. Even something as simple as we had a resident living in one of our communities who every day, 1:00, started literally hitting our resident assistants as they tried to help her take her nap that her family said she took every day and needed to get to her nap. Well, after she started using EverSound, she was able to communicate with the staff and explain to them that she didn't like naps. She didn't want to take a nap ever again. So they don't give her a nap anymore. And all the hitting and the screaming went away, But when you don't know what you're supposed to do, you can't communicate. So yeah, those are a couple tools. There are some other tools out there that are things that you can plug into specific device. Like this is for my TV, my phone. If there's certain things that you use a lot, then it might be helpful to find a device that plugs specifically into your phone, your TV, something that plugs into your car, things like that. So those are a few. There's a lot in the hearing space for sure. There's really almost no reason not to have a solution because of how many solutions there are today.
So tell us really quick about Orcam and how this tool helps seniors better navigate their world.
So Orcam are glasses that have a little camera on the side of them, and they help someone who's sight impaired be able to navigate the world better. So it may be, I'm walking down the street and I can't read that sign. So I'm going to press the button on the side of my glasses and say, what does that sign say? And then it's going to read the sign to me. It may be I'm walking into a office building and I don't know what any of the doors say. I don't know any of the signs on the doors. So I can look and it will tell me what the doors are. Maybe I'm in a group of people and I can't recognize who's near me. I can look and it will whisper in my ear, Bob is on your left, Susan's on your right, James is in front of you. Maybe I'm trying to read the newspaper. I pick up a magazine. I can have it read to me what I'm looking at. I can have it give me guidance as I'm walking down the street as far as directions. So it's kind of a support to help you know what you're looking at, and whisper audio into your ear so you're able to better navigate your world.
Wow, that's amazing. So, just think, 20 years ago, none of this stuff even existed and people just had to kind of endure. So, I'm definitely always grateful for technology. And so Benjamin, if somebody wants to find out more stuff, how do they find you?
They can email me, they can give me a call, go to our website. Happy to engage in conversation with professionals who are looking to better understand how to help their clients or families who are trying to think through the best way to support their loved one.
All right. Thanks for being on the show today, and you have a great week.
You too.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Life Happens with Kim Hegwood. Be sure to tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. wherever you listen to your podcast as we navigate through the challenges that emerge as life happens. The content of this podcast does not establish an attorney-client relationship or constitute attorney-client privilege, legal, medical, financial, or any other professional advice.